For those who don't know anything about what we do and who we are, onefinestay was a business that started back in 2010 here in London. And I show this picture, I call it the no light bulb moment, because every business, there's a moment when you have an idea. This is mostly my fault, this business. And the idea really came to me when I was on the other side of the table at a firm called Index Ventures. I'm sure some of you know those guys. And Index has offices in central London, in Mayfair, and this is what I used to see every day when I came home from work. It was beautiful properties right in the middle of the central part of one of the loveliest cities in the world, and the lights aren't on. And the lights aren't on because nobody's home, and fundamentally, that's a market failure, right? You've got beautiful places, the owners travel a lot, typically people who can travel do travel, but for exactly the same reason, folks who have properties like this in city centers don't tend to have any incentive on the margin to make money out of their home by running a part-time hospitality business. That's where we come in. What we do is we provide a set of services to homeowners, folks who own beautiful properties in city centers, that makes it really easy on the margin for them to make a bit of extra money out of their home when they're traveling, rather than leaving it empty. Now, these are folks like you who don't need that cash. In fact, if I said to you, you're going to have to try to generate a few £1,000s a year, or dollars or euros a year more, this isn't necessarily the thing that you choose to do with your free time. However, if I said to you, you're leaving that money on the table, we'll do all the work. We'll go into your home when you're out of it, we'll make it ready for people to come stay, we'll take care of everything from the insurance to the sheets, to the linens, the towels and the toiletries. We'll move your stuff out the way and put it back just like you found it, maybe cleaner, when you return from your trip. Then it's a different proposition. And even Bill Gates would pick up a $10 bill on the sidewalk in front of him. He's just not going to cross the street to do it. For guests, what access to these properties lets us do is offer a really distinctive upscale hospitality experience. It's the kind of experience that you'd enjoy staying in a beautiful hotel, but the setting is the authentic and characterful interior of one of those private homes which you'd love to own if you had the chance of owning a property in that place. And the way that we enable this market to exist and correct this market failure is providing a whole set of proprietary infrastructure and services in each market when we operate. And that's a lot of heavy lifting. This is a complex and operationally intense business. As much as I sometimes wish it was a website, it is also a website. But the guts of this business is in the market when we provide those hospitality services. The guests come and stay. They get a hotel-style experience, but they get it in that private home setting. And we have little touches on the margin, which I'm surprised that traditional hotel operators still haven't emulated. We lend guests an iPhone while they come stay with us, for instance. That's loaded with tips and recommendations from the owner of that property to help make them feel at home. Of course, we're also doing a little bit of work quietly behind the scenes to curate and select and filter for the properties that are going to deliver that consistently excellent upscale service experience. We accept around 1 in 10 of the homes whose owners approach us, which is in turn typically a fairly self-selecting group. The thing we're most proud of as a business, we're a services company. The thing we're most proud of as a business is this. It's that guests love this. Now, the Net Promoter Score that we're excited about sharing in public, this kind of high 60s, nearly 70 Net Promoter Score, to put that in context, the average Net Promoter Score in the hospitality sector is in the high 20s. It's really difficult consistently exceeding expectations of folks who are staying in expensive properties and expensive hotels. The average transaction value we fulfill is around a $4,000 ticket. So these are people who have high expectations for the quality of the accommodation and the quality of the service that they're going to enjoy. And we're consistently exceeding those expectations, and we've been doing that for many years. And ultimately, we think this is where the value accrues in our brand. We are a service brand. It was also this and this consistent quality of service experience that's really helped us raise our profile over the last 12 months. Just in the last 6, some of the coverage we've got from a whole variety of media and trade titles. And I think what this speaks to is not just that this is an idea whose time has come well executed, but this is also something that really is crossing over into being a lifestyle brand. And we're increasingly perceived as that. Indeed, it was that lifestyle brand identity that attracted, among others, the Hyatt Hotel Group to invest in our last financing round. We announced a $40 million raise earlier this year. And that expansion capital will clearly help us extend out our profile into new markets. We're already planning to launch in a couple new cities in Europe. We're going to be looking to do partnerships more broadly. And clearly, as this slide also indicates, we think that one of the great opportunities for our business is distribution partnerships. Because we own the asset, or rather we exclusively contract for the properties that we manage, and because the service experience is very hard to get right, we get it right, and it's a proprietary infrastructure that delivers it, we're really proud of that, but we're not proud, or rather we're not precious about how you come across us. So we work with anyone who we believe does a good job of representing our brand in their shop window. We work with Priceline. We just had Glenn on the stage. We work with HomeAway, which I guess now should be the same logo as Expedia's. We work with Agoda. We work with TripAdvisor and a lot of the other online travel distribution companies. We've also, over the last 12 months, really stepped up our engagement with traditional offline travel distributors, Signature Collection, Virtuoso, and American Express Centurion, among others. And that's really doubled for us over the last 12 months as a very effective way to get our product out in front of a large community of people who really value that premium travel experience. The other thing we've been busy doing over the last few months is scaling up our senior team. We welcomed Tom Singer, who formerly was the CFO of the Intercontinental Hotel Group, the world's largest hotel chain by room numbers. He joined our team. Nick Rotolo, who formerly ran Vistaprint in Europe. Satya on the slide at the top right, who was one of the most senior engineers, actually the most senior female engineer at Google in Europe to co-head our technology and product team. So we're really on the journey to build a world-class executive team. Ultimately, we believe and we know this is a category, and we have the opportunity to lead and develop that category globally. It's also a very big category globally. Our estimates are that something in between $1 and $3 billion is spent in each major gateway market on upscale travel product. In many ways, it is the largest single spend category in travel and in hospitality. And yet, to access that spend pool, to be able to compete for customers who are expecting to spend, and that $250 is a per bedroom per night metric, to access travelers who are expecting to spend that kind of money and demanding the service that implies, you've got to get a lot of things right. But if you get them right, it's a very, very big market opportunity in any one city, let alone across a large number of cities. And as speaking of multiple cities, as we've replicated out our model from London in 2010 to New York to Paris and Los Angeles, we've been able to accelerate the rate and the quality of the experience that we deliver. In fact, in our newest markets, we're achieving even higher Net Promoter Scores than we are in our established markets. We operate today, or exclusively manage, I should say, well in excess of $6 billion of very beautiful properties. And so when you're planning your next trip, we'd love to have you stay with us. And on that note, there's a discount code. And of course, I can't leave the stage without also saying that if you are not from London, your home right now is sitting empty, and that's a waste. We'd love to talk to you about making more out of that idle asset. Thanks very much for your time today.